Welcome to the John McAllister Report, where John McAllister, top football evaluator, interviews college and high school coaches and athletes from around the country. Sit back and enjoy today's podcast.
I'm John McAllister, and today on Around the State, my guest is Garrett Stover, defensive back, kind of a wide receiver, running back at Big Walnut High School. He's in the 2024 class. He lettered as a freshman and a sophomore, and he's played really well. 6'2", 6'1", 200 pounds. Garrett is a very good football player, and he seems to be a class act. And I know that he'll be one of the top players coming out of the 2024 class. They're going to be juniors. And he's a hitter, he's tough, and he's smart. So sit back and enjoy my podcast with Garrett Stover. Welcome Garrett Stover from Big Walnut High School down north of Columbus. He's in the 24 class, and I saw him play last year in Mansfield against Massillon. You're a three-sport guy. Tell me about playing three sports in a pretty good-sized school district and a pretty good, Region 2 in football or Division 2 in football, I think. What's it like to play three sports?
It's good. It definitely, keeps me busy. It's definitely, in all aspects of, playing basketball and running track, it helps, different muscles, when you're playing football and, playing basketball, keeps me agile for football or, track, really works on the straight line speed and football. So it all really helps me out in all three sports, and it's fun.
Do you have time to do some strength training in there then?
Oh yeah. I mean, I stay consistent, with lifting and everything. So it's not like I'm not, forgetting any of that. I actually have a weight room here at my house that, I lift before school, when I can't do it after because I'll have track or basketball. But, I make sure I stay in the weight room, and we'll lift with basketball and track. So
that's really
good. It all works out.
That's really good. Basketball, I even looked at some of your clips on Huddle and basketball, or just a few on there. And basketball's a good sport. It's a different muscles, different conditioning. Yep. And what position you play in basketball?
I'm just like a wing, small forward.
And a hacker and go after the ball and things like that, right?
I do a little bit of everything. I can rebound and play good defense, and hustling is one of my biggest things, and getting on the floor. So
be careful, because if you say you're a hustler, that means you can't shoot. No, I'm joking with you. Okay, I'm joking. Tell me about track. I asked you about track earlier before we came on. So you're running the 100 meters and then the 4x1 on what? Thursday, I think.
Thursday, yeah. And then I'll high jump on a win tomorrow.
How high do you high jump? What's your best?
6 foot is my best.
6 foot?
Yeah.
That's honestly pretty good. You're carrying a 6'1", 200-pound frame, aren't you?
Yeah, it's I got to work on my arc a little more.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing. That's because I'm above the bar. It just I'll just end up hitting it with like my legs in the end or something.
Are you a quick jumper, or do you have to build up speed to jump?
I would say I'm a pretty quick jumper. Obviously in high jump you want to build enough speed to get over the bar and get high enough. But I would say I'm pretty quick.
Okay. I'm just trying to impress myself with. I was a track coach, so I'm just
Mhm.
trying to impress myself with knowledge of high jumping. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about everything else but the other sports. Okay, you lettered last year you lettered and started as a sophomore, and which is quite an accomplishment. Did you play varsity as a freshman then?
Yeah, I did. I lettered my freshman year. I played corner. So I was on kickoff and played corner. So it was I mean that was definitely the COVID year,
Right,
and
right,
you know we didn't get a chance to you know have the opportunity to go in the playoffs or anything
right.
just because the whole COVID thing. But it was definitely a fun year, definitely a good experience for
Oh,
my
you played.
first year of high school, right?
Yeah, that's good. Your athletic accomplishments sound really, really good, and you're not even in the junior year yet.
Yeah.
How are academics then?
Good. I mean, my grades are good. I haven't really ever had a problem in the classroom. I think I have a 3.6, 3.7 GPA.
Okay.
I keep it, around there, but, I'm a pretty, academics guy first and make sure I take care of that before anything else.
That's honestly the better academics, the higher money you get.
Right.
Scholarship wise. People don't realize that, but it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about. Here's my first. No, let's go. You're the stove. You got the stover. Okay, so you got all the stover. It must be a whole city down in Big Walnut with stovers, and even Cade up in near Ontario or Mansfield,
Yeah.
Lexington. I'm sorry, Lexington.
Yeah.
Uh, anybody in the Stover family kind of really pushed you or kind of been an influence on you?
I mean, really, all my uncles and cousin and my grandpa and my dad, like they've all been through it. They've all been, kind of through that, um, phase where, you got to work hard. If you want something, you got to work for it, you got to earn it and everything. So I think just having that mindset that they've always, they're always telling me that has really helped me. And, they're always giving me advice about, what to do and what not to do when it comes to, playing sports or getting recruited or anything like that. So they've definitely been a huge impact. So, and just showing support.
That's really good. That's really good. Okay, a question I always ask guys, and I'm interested in what you say. What are any words you live by? I was a great Ben Franklin guy, and he had all these proverbs. Any words that you live by? Like two of mine, and I actually wrote them down because I find a way to get it done and leave it on the field. Okay,
Mm.
those are the two. At 73, I still believe that. So, are any words you live by? Anything like
Um,
that?
I've one quote that's always stood out to me was just like that nobody cares, like keep working harder. I mean, I think like in my mind, I think that means something like when something goes wrong or something doesn't go your way, there's always you always gotta keep looking forward, keep having tunnel vision and looking ahead and just keep working.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. Just coming out every day and giving it your all, no matter what it is.
Good. Okay. I think that's huge, huge for anything we do is to
Yeah.
leave it on the field, man. And then that's it. Tell me, first silly question for me, and for you, what if you could spend a whole day with anybody, who would it be and why? Celebrity, sports, friend, whatever. Who would it be? You got your choice. Who would
Mm,
it be?
that's a good question. I've definitely said somebody before. I just haven't. I think maybe. Hmm, that's a good question. Probably. I probably have to hang out with somebody like really funny. Probably like
Good.
probably like a celeb, like maybe like Kevin Hart or Will Ferrell or maybe The Rock. I think that would be fun to do. Just because like they all or hang out with all three of them. But
yeah, okay. So somebody funny, somebody make you laugh, and somebody then you makes you laugh, and then you make them laugh probably.
Yeah,
and that's really good. And I doubt if you laugh much on the football field, but I mean maybe after a good hit or something like that. But that's really good. Okay, let's talk football. What's your favorite position, Garrett?
I would say probably I've always played linebacker and that safety. I think safety is probably my favorite just because you're kind of like the quarterback of the defense, getting to do whatever, kind of get to do whatever you want on the field, like I said, and just going after footballs, breaking up passes, or coming downhill and laying the boom on somebody is always fun. So I think that's probably my favorite.
Okay, what are your strengths as a football player?
I would say the biggest thing that stands out to people is just how fast I react and get to the football, and I'm obviously very violent when I get there. I think laterally I'm very quick, so really wherever the ball is, I'm pretty much always the first one to get there, and I think that's like my speed, I would say.
Okay, what do you have to work on as a football player?
I would say from a DB standpoint, definitely more eye discipline, on my receiver, and one-on-one man-on-man coverage is definitely a thing I need to work on. Getting fast.
Are you playing the slot? Are you playing the slot, number 2 guy? Aren't you more of a strong? I guess. Do you see yourself as more of a? So I don't even know what they call them anymore. Strong. I call them strong safeties, nickelback, or something like that. Do you see yourself there, or as a true free?
I mean, I've heard a lot of different things. I mean, nickel, like the nickel. I mean, I could see myself playing that. I think I would say more of a deep guy or
what do you have to improve on?
I would say like eye discipline on my receivers. That's
tough, isn't it? Man, that's tough. In zone coverage, it's so hard.
So it's and I would just say, keeping my eye on one thing that's not moving on the receiver. Obviously, if your eyes are in his helmet, you're going to get faked out or juked out on what he's trying to do to get by you. So I would just say eye discipline and, keeping my feet under me.
Yeah. And you got to get faster.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but everybody has to get faster.
Yeah.
And that's colleges will make you faster. I really like it because I think you're aggressive. And what was you're aggressive and you get, and if this makes sense to you or not, I think you have to have your closing quickness as your strength.
Yes.
Okay? You got to get that initial burst better, and you will. You're only South. I mean, you got to this year to really prove that your initial burst, you got to have to get better, and then straight line is good, and your pursuit is good. You take the right angles, but I think your final burst is what really helps you. Your tackle, you tackle through a guy. I mean, you're not wrapping in. I mean, when I say you're not wrapping is a negative to me. When you're not wrapping around him, you're just going right through him. And I think that's really good. And I think you're tough. And but I really think by the time I see you in 2 or 3 years, I think you're going to be you're going to be a linebacker type guy. Because, in colleges, they all take the frees and move them up to the linebackers, free safeties. They take the linebackers, sometimes move them out to defensive ends. It's all about playing up. And I think that's what's really going to help you, that you do that. I also think that you see things, and I think it looks like on video that you anticipate pretty well. Okay. You study a lot of film?
Yeah, I do. I mean, really just before, I mean, whoever we have in the week, I just try to find, obviously what, this receiver's good at, what this running back's good at, and, just try to take it away with, something I'm good
I don't
at.
think, if you're listening to my podcast when I talk to prospects and players, I don't think you all study enough film. Just sit there and watch it and watch it. And I think when you play a team, and because it's so much better now than when I was a head football coach. And I mean, you guys, I could turn you on here in about a minute on my phone. You know what I'm saying? But I think I really believe that I'm getting philosophy here, and I don't want to. But if you watch enough, you just sense what's going to happen in the game. You just get a feel. Okay, now they may run this play, because they've run it before. And boy, and as a smart guy and as a linebacker, I think it's huge. Right. Okay. End of that sermon. But I really like I think you just have to get faster. And the other thing, virtually everybody does, you have to learn to change direction better.
Yeah.
But that's everybody. But you have to think. Linebackers have to think that way. You got to be able to change and strong safeties and free safeties. I just think there's the quickness, and everybody, we don't want to blow up guys anymore, man. We want to change and run away from them and make plays. Yep. That's good. Let's go back to something more fun. Talent. What's one talent that you'd like to have, you'll never get? You'd like to have, you don't have, and you'll never get. You don't have. What's something you'd like to do that, it ain't gonna happen? What would that be? It can be anything.
Talent.
Tough question.
I think that is a tough question.
Dancing. You dance. You dance pretty well.
Dance?
Yeah.
No, I'm a pretty good.
Just move your feet. You just go out there and be bad. Move your feet, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's a hard question.
Okay. What advice would you give a freshman now that's this August? What do you tell him when he's dragging and he's, competitive and you see him? What do you tell him? Because you have a lot of experience for an underclassman. What would you tell him?
I would just say, I mean, just give it your all. I mean, go out there on the field and, don't worry about, anything. Just have fun, enjoy it, and, give 110% every play because, it's going to go fast and, make every game and day and practice like it's your last because, it's going fast and you're enjoy playing with your teammates. And, if you're dragging along and everything, just, put your mindset to, you're going to get through it because, like I said, it's going fast and,
what's the best thing about playing football for you? The best thing?
I would say, I've grown up playing with guys that I'm obviously still playing with now, like Nate. He's, we've been playing it together since second grade. I think, just playing with each other and having, that bond and is really special because, obviously when someone on your team makes a big play, all you want to do is go over and get hyped with them and hug them and all this. So I think that's the biggest thing is just playing with your teammates.
That's really good. That's a lot of guys say that team aspect is so important.
Yeah.
And the unity and the bonding and stuff like that, especially you guys have been pretty successful. Okay. Yep. Let's talk about, I don't want to do the worst thing. I have a lot of questions. What do you think in football? Energy is huge. Okay. Yep. Energy. And then, you're only going to be a junior.
Yep.
You're not a senior yet. But what kind of energy do you bring to your team? What kind of energy do you bring?
I mean, I think the energy that I bring, I mean, I think, obviously in practice and games, the energy that, just everybody, wants to be a part of that gets everybody going. I think energy.
You get everybody going?
Yeah.
You're one of the guys?
I think I am.
How do you do that?
I would say, just, and like we have these team periods where, it's stud only, but, you go out and you pop the offense pretty good. And, you just, we also do this chant that you say run hit after, you get to the ball first. And right. I always try to be the first one and then, see if, anybody gets there, with me and, we all just kind of get excited around the ball. I think that's the biggest thing.
Last year was a big year for you. Your team was pretty good. Was there ever a time, and maybe not, so there may not be an answer. Was there ever a time when the light came on for you, when the switch came on and said, hey, I got to step it up, man. I got like a light came on for me about 3 and 4 months ago. And I said, I really want to do this, stay in the football recruiting. And this is what was there ever a time when a light came on for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think, so after or before the Westville South game, I missed 2 games because I had COVID. And, just kind of, there was a switch that flipped in my mind that basically I can't, take any days off or take, I got to just enjoy this process because, I could, be out. I don't know how long. Cause I missed 2 games and it was the worst feeling of my life. And I just, I had to put my head down and, focus on the rest of the season. So.
That's really good. Okay. I have two more questions. One, I want to make a comment to you. And I think I said something to Nate. Of course, I only live about 35 minutes from Mansfield, where I live. But I went to the Mansfield to see Massillon play you guys, just to see how tough you guys were.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to see because I knew Massillon, tradition, all that stuff. And you guys really did well the first half. In fact, if you don't stumble, make a couple of mistakes, that's a different ball game at halftime. Obviously, you've relived that. But what I'm so proud of is you and Nate and some of those other guys. I think a linebacker. Boy, you guys stepped up.
Yeah.
And, and Nate, every time, big play. I mean, he's running up the sidelines. But I thought you guys played and well coached. I thought you guys really, and then you can't play a team like that and give up, and this stuff, but you lose those possibilities in the first half. But I thought you guys did a good job, and a lot of that's a credit to you. Okay, in one more, why would I recruit you? I don't want to talk about football. I don't, because I watch that stuff, but what quality do you have that I would really like?
I think my character is a big thing. I think, if you are recruiting me and you talk to me, I'm going to look you in the eye. I think, I'm really good at talking to, people and, definitely just very genuine and, I'm not, I'm talking to somebody, I'm not looking at the ground or somebody or something. I'm looking, in their eyes. I think
everybody did
the biggest
that.
thing.
You prospects don't do that. Recruits, but that's really good. That's good. That's a good. And the last question, okay. How's recruiting going in a minute? I don't want to, because that's not what I do. But how's recruiting going in general for you? Is it going pretty? Are you feeling good about it so far?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just enjoying it. I mean, haven't really settled down and focused, too much on, obviously on like where I want to go. I think I'm still taking my time with it.
Right.
Just feeling, everything out and, just still figuring like piece by piece and what what really is the best fit for me and still, checking out places. So, this June will be a big month for me, going to camps and checking out more schools. So I think, it'll be fun.
Sounds really good. Okay, Garrett, I really appreciate getting to know you, and I appreciate you having on my podcast. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.